For a time, Unity was the underdog. Many developers create games with Unity, but it seems the company behind Unity has made the worst possible decision. So why did they screw developers over? For those not in the know, Unity is a game engine. Essentially, developers used it to develop their own games. Unity is also a very flexible engine being used to create multiple different types of games of all scopes and sizes. And I'm not kidding when I talk about the scopes and sizes of these various different games. You have small hobbyist developers trying to make their dream game in Unity. And then you have games like Hollow Knight that are massive successes, and they're made with Unity. And finally, you have the big titles. The big titles that you didn't know ran on Unity, like Genshin Impact. It seemed like a pretty decent engine to develop on. I mean, a lot of people made great games on it. Yes, I know the engine doesn't make the game and the game dev makes the game, but it didn't seem like there was anything wrong with developing on Unity. Until now, that is. September the 12th, 2023 was the day Unity announced these new changes. This comes directly from Unity's own blog. Effective on January the 1st, 2024, there will be a new Unity runtime fee. Depending on what Unity plan you have, if you have Unity Personal or Unity Plus, if you've published a game that's made over $200,000 in 12 months and have had at least 200,000 game installs, you pay the fee. Well, the fee is 20 cents per install. Now, that in and of itself doesn't sound like that much. That's like what, 2 dimes? That's not even a full quarter. But hear me out. This fee that didn't used to exist adds up. Let's say you as a developer clear the bar. Let's do the math, shall we? If you have 200,000 installs and you're paying 20 cents per install, you're paying Unity $40,000 minimum. There is also a fee for the higher tier plans, such as Unity Pro or Unity Enterprise. But the companies buying Unity Pro and Unity Enterprise can definitely afford those. Not to mention, for these higher tier plans, the per game install fee is cheaper. So in my own humble opinion, this fee hurts indie devs more than it hurts anyone else. It's not gonna hurt Blizzard. Heck, it's not even gonna hurt MiHoYo. As of the recording of this video, there's been an update, and Unity walked some of this stuff back. They quote-unquote regrouped, and now say that only the initial installation of a game triggers a fee. Earlier, it was reported that multiple installs of a game would trigger multiple instances of the fee. While this is no longer true for a single device, if you have a second device you want to play games on, like say for example a Steam Deck, there will be a second install fee charged to that developer. Given how Proton works, this is especially problematic given that sometimes when you switch Proton versions, some programs and some forms of DRM sees this new Proton version as a separate computer. It's known to happen with de novo games when you switch Proton versions too many times. They also clarified demos. More specifically, demos wouldn't trigger any fees and wouldn't be counted towards your installs, unlike before. This is true, that is, unless the demo is, quote-unquote, part of a download that includes the full game. So are they referring to early access games? You know, I wouldn't consider those demos of games. Unity also mentions subscription services, like Microsoft's Game Pass. Unity claims that fees would be charged to distributors, which in this case would be Microsoft. You want Microsoft to pay fees to Unity? Come on, dude, it's Microsoft. It's not gonna end well. Trust. Yes, developers wouldn't pay fees related to Game Pass downloads, but do you really think Microsoft's gonna pay those? You really think Microsoft isn't gonna pass on these fees to the consumer or, you know, the developers in question once again? I don't see this ending well, period. Yes, Unity also mentions charities or games included in charity bundles. There have been a ton of games that are included in charity bundles. You know, the original Humble Bundle was in fact a charity bundle by this definition. There have also been a ton of really big charity bundles on itch.io. For example, there's the Bundle for Racial Justice and Equality bundle. I personally donated like $50 to this. I also donated another $50 for the Bundle for Ukraine bundle. Between the two bundles, there's like 1,000 works in these bundles, and honestly, I still need to evaluate these. The point I'm trying to make is that Initially, the rules were very unclear about games that were obtained via a charity. They now specify that you can specify when a game was part of a charity, but the rules aren't super specific because bundles don't last forever. These bundles ended already, and would they incur fees if I downloaded these games from these bundles now? I don't know, man. Unity is employing the good old-fashioned overstepping your boundaries tactic to backpedal into something that's still favorable in their position tactic. I love when companies do this because it proves that you really cannot trust them. Instead of stealing with both hands, they shake your hand with one hand and they steal with the other. So let's talk about the CEO of Unity. See, the CEO of Unity actually came from EA. Surprise, surprise. He has a very, let's just say, EA thought process. What's his stance on reloading in video games?
When you are 6 hours into playing Battlefield and you run out of ammo in your clip and we ask you for $1 to reload, you're really not very price sensitive at that point in time. The play first, pay later model works so nicely. Is the consumer gets engaged in a property, they might spend 10, 20, 30, 50 hours on the game. And then when they're deep into the game, they're well invested in it. We're not gouging, but we're charging.
So my big question is, can you really trust a guy like this? I mean, this is the same guy that called you the, quote, biggest fucking idiots. There's also reports that Unity CEO also sold 2,000 shares 6 days ago. I'm not someone that's super well versed in the stock market, but I will say, if that isn't insider trading, then I don't know what the heck insider trading is. I mean, come on, dude. 6 days before he knew the worst Unity news would drop? Are you serious? Even if Unity totally backpedals, can game devs really trust Unity anymore? Like, quite literally, Unity destroyed all goodwill. It seems like many devs are swearing off of Unity forever. But the truth is, there are so many projects that are currently pretty deep in development that they really cannot afford to change engines. It would take too long to relearn a new engine, and then it'd be way too expensive trying to port everything over. But that's just my 2 cents. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. If you liked this video, be sure to press the thumbs up button and spread the good gospel of high-tech lowlife. And if you want to see more high-tech lowlife, be sure to subscribe and press the bell icon for notifications. And for you enlightened individuals, be sure to join my Discord server. And if you wish to support high-tech lowlife, be sure to check out our Patreon page. Links in the description down below.